Embassy of the Dead, Chapter 25, The White Hare. Mawkins knelt on the turf. The wet lawn sparkled in the moonlight, but where the child had stepped, no raindrops clung to the grass. The steps led across the lawn to the brick wall that surrounded the looming building. He frowned at the sight of the unconscious man, whose lumbering purpose in this malevolence was unknown. Once, long ago, there was a time when Mawkins would have been able to reap his soul to be on the safe side. But times had changed. Now he needed the authority of the embassy. It seemed strange that ghosts should control the whims of a reaper who had existed since the beginning of time. But it was just the way things were now, the better way for all. Just a shame it wasn't as much fun. He thought of the boy child. Many had tried running from the reaper, living and dead, but none had escaped his power for long. He lifted his head and took another sniff, filtering out the scent of a million other creatures until he found it again, the unmistakable smell of the damned thing, muted by the smell of its spectral container, but still perfuming the air with its deathly fragrance. It was on the move. He took a step forward, and another, and with each long stride he passed into the ground, merging seamlessly with the soil until he had become one with the dirt. Rayburn groaned and rubbed his head. A large bump had risen on his forehead. He pushed himself from the wet ground and staggered back to his dented car. The boy would pay for this. That's the end of the chapter. I don't know why it's called The White Hare.
Yeah, and it's spelled with the spelling Hare.
Yeah, so it means like a rabbit.
Yeah.
But it's not...
A rabbit with long ears.
Do you think that's what Mawkins is?
Maybe.
Oh, we don't know. Pretty scary though, so it confirms Mawkins is on his trail and so is Rayburn.
Mm-hmm.
Just to remind us. So it's interesting, isn't it, that they have one chapter where it's quite light-hearted and jokey with all the normal world stuff, with him texting his mum and dad and filling up the camper van with petrol. And then they do this, which is all very ghostly and scary.
Well, not very scary, just...
Well, it's for Jake.
Yeah, it
would be for Jake.
It's not the normal Jake. Well, until he met Stiff Keith.
That's true.